Hello, everyone. It's your sister Roland, and all I need is a few minutes to talk about a song Beyonce made on her new album Renaissance, and this song is titled Church Girl. So, my daughter made me aware of the song because it was somebody that she followed on TikTok, and this person supposedly do like church skits or whatever, and then they were dancing to this church girl thing, popping and dropping stuff. So she's like, "Mommy, you need to make a video about this." So I went to look at the lyrics, and we're gonna look at the lyrics together. So I'm not gonna read all of the lyrics because it's a very long look. As you can see, is long. So I'm not gonna do that. So we're gonna skim through it. But where she says, "I wanna be a church girl," and this where she says, "Nobody can judge me," because that's everybody's famous quote that they misquote from the Bible. Because if you read the rest of the verse, it says you're not supposed to judge somebody if you're doing the same thing as them, because it's like the blind leading the blind. How are you supposed to help me to come out of whatever sin, whatever situation I'm in, if you're in the same thing? Okay? So, but everybody, a lot of people, not everybody, "Oh, don't judge me, I can do whatever I want to do." But people try to tell you, don't do it because there are consequences when you do whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you want to do, but you don't get to choose the consequences that comes from you doing whatever you want to do. As she goes into more detail, I say that this is why she made this song. This is the reason why. I'm going to assume that she's talking about church girls, doing these things. So I'll drop it like thoughty, drop it like a thoughty. I guess dropping your, dropping and popping and dropping that thing. Church girls getting loose. Bad girls acting snotty. I remember Beyonce was a church girl at a point of time, if you didn't know. Bad girls acting naughty. Church girl don't hurt nobody. But you will hurt yourself by doing certain things that you're not supposed to do. Next one. You could be my daddy if you want to. You could be my daddy if you want to. You could get it tatted if you want to. So who's your daddy again? So because your biological dad, he's already your dad. But if you telling somebody you could be my daddy if you want to, probably a sugar daddy, or my sweet daddy or whatever. She gonna shake that A and them big pretty tig old biddies. Okay. And then look. I'm finally on the other side. I finally found the urge to smile, swimming through the oceans of tears we tried, tears we cried, tears that we've cried. We got church in the morning. Yeah, you busting it down. You telling somebody they could be your daddy, and then you have church in the morning. But you're doing God's work. You're going in. She ain't trying to hurt nobody. Wow. And then coming back with the "nobody can judge me" thing. And of course, going back to dropping it like a thoughty. You could be my daddy if you want to. Basically, yeah, church girl acting loose, ain't helping nobody. Get party. I mean, drop it like it's hot as much as you can, and then you got church in the morning. So probably this is Saturday night. This is what you're doing Saturday night, and basically that's it in a nutshell.
My advice is to keep God first. That's the main thing. Keep God first. We go to church every Sunday together, and I think that's what gives this group the bond that we have. Please keep God first and pray every night.
So you heard the clip Beyonce was, let's say, I wouldn't say raised in church, because people always say raised in church. If you go to church every Sunday, that's not being raised in the church. You just go by habit or by routine. But when somebody's raised in a church, that means you're always in church. It's not only Sunday. And that's for people who have go to churches that have not only churches on Sunday, but they have churches during the week, like some Haitian churches, African churches, Hispanic churches. They have Sunday worship, and then they come Sunday worship in the morning. They have Sunday worship at night. They have Bible study on. Some people do it on Wednesdays, Fridays, Thursdays. They have youth. They have prayer services. So somebody who always go to those services, that's what you would say you was raised in church. But if you go to church only on Sunday, that's not raising a church. That's not you being raised in a church. That's just you guys going to church. It's a difference, trust me. But this is what my thing is. So she's saying this church girl, and she's not titled a church girl, and telling you to drop it and saying to drop it like it's hard. You ain't hurt nobody. You got church in the morning and stuff like that. Because what? Many people who go to church, they act like they don't have no modesty, no sense sometimes, no morals. They act like people who are in the world. And ever since everybody wanted, because she was so-called raised in a church, she made some Christian songs. She was singing some Christian songs. Everybody wanted Beyonce to be a Christian. But singing Christian songs does not make you a Christian. Being around Christian people does not make you a Christian. Having Christian friends, having a pastor at your beck and call does not make you a Christian. What makes you a Christian is your fruits. God said, the Bible tells us we shall know them by their fruits. Because I could say I am a Christian all day, every day, but you shall know them by their fruits. Do you even know what fruits is? What fruits you're supposed to look for? So many fruits that Beyonce have put up there doesn't show that she is a Christian. And this is what I blame. I blame us as parents, because you're gonna see a lot of church. Well, they was already doing stuff anyway, but a lot of church kids who go to church gotta use this as an excuse to go bananas and to throw everything that they learn and start doing a lot of stuff that they don't have no business doing. Because why? We don't have influence on our children as much. We take them to church, but then we don't live that life. We don't. Look how the other day the pastor got robbed in the church, and then nearing the end of the video, you heard I guess the child was asking, "Oh, I left my iPad," and you heard the lady cursed. She used a bad language. And we are taking our kids to church, but we are not living this life. Why did the Israelites fall into idolatry? Is because they did not follow the instruction of God. Many things caused that, but they did not follow the instruction of God, because God told them, hey, when you are walking with your children, when you are hanging out with your children, tell them about what God did, the goodness of God, how he brought you up. Constantly bombard your children. Bombard your children with the goodness of God. If you have children in middle school, high school, and they cannot by themselves say, this is what God is to me, this is what God has done for me, they cannot explain their own experience, not what you told them, but their own experience with God. Because you already gave them a foundation, taking them to church, teaching them Bible verses, teaching them Christian songs and stuff like that. But they need their own experience, because that is going to hold them when they find that friend that come to them. Oh, I don't believe in God because my mom had this, or I had this, and I prayed to God, he didn't listen, and stuff like that. So I don't believe in God. And then them who don't have their own experience with God, they just going by what you always told them, it's going to make sense to them, because the devil always sends people on your child's way to deter them. Because remember, they still at an impressionable age. still under the pressure. But when you get older, you still can, your mind can still turn. It just will take longer. But at a younger age, if you're not constantly reminding them, telling them what God did for them, where they came from, explain them different things, controversial topics, explain to them why it's against God's law. If you're not doing that, what are you doing? What are you doing? Because the devil gonna send somebody their way, and it's gonna turn their minds. Because if you have ever went to college, well, not even college, they don't even start at college. My daughter is in a class, supposed to be the top class in the school, and this lady is a teacher in there. She comes all the time with controversial topics, but like in a sense that you could feel sorry, like it's a sad situation to the controversial topic, so she could switch the kids' minds. Oh, the lady did this, and they told her that the child is missing limbs and stuff like that. Shouldn't she end the pregnancy? And then my daughter would always, because that's what I taught her. And she would always say, no, it's still wrong. It's still wrong. And so much times this lady has given my daughter bad grades because she stood up. You're going to have to tell your kids that when they stand up, they will encounter pushbacks, because you usually at a young age, whatever they tell you, you're supposed to go with it. But I try to constantly, because I'm not perfect at it. I try to constantly always tell them, you know what, you guys need to know, you guys gonna go to college soon. You have to have your own experience with God. You need that. You need to be able, because when I was growing up, nobody could tell me nothing but no God, because I was like, what? What are you talking about? That's not what the Bible say. That's not what, because you couldn't tell me nothing, because I already had that experience with God at a younger age. So all kind of people come and tell me foolishness. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about, because this is what and I didn't know. I was just not quoting verses and stuff like that. I understood at a very young age what the verses mean, so I was able to use them in context, which is a gift. That was not of me. So you couldn't turn me that in that sense. But many of our kids can be turned, because we are not how were raised. We're not raising our children like that. We take them to church, we introduce them to God, and then we don't live that lifestyle at home. So, but your children always listen to Beyonce and those different artists, and those are the people that are going to have influence on them, because we as parents, we do not have influence on our children. So and then we don't stay on top of trending topics to explain this. Hey, this is what happened in the media. This is what happened to this celebrity or whatever it is, and then you explain to them from your perspective, because if not, they're gonna come, oh, did you hear what happened to this celebrity? Oh, that would never be me, and stuff like that. And then they hearing it from their peers' perspective that don't know anything, because they're young, and then that is what they building their relationships on, friendships on, or whatever, because you do not do your due diligence and constantly speak to your children. Us as parents, we all are guilty, especially Christian parents. And whatever speaks to your child more, that is gonna be what influences your child. Just like this song, it's Church Girl. Yeah, it's church girls. Some people in church act loose because their parents are not living the life that they portray to the church members. It's not. So some people think that they could act any kind of way and then they still save. Just like, hey, you could drop it like it's hot, drop it, pop it, pop, drop it, dance, twerk, and then you go in the morning and you good. Even I've heard pastors say, it does not matter where you was last night. I don't care if you was in the club. You here and grace is covering you. Let me get an amen. I come to tell you that's a lie, okay? That is a lie. You cannot serve the world. You cannot love the things of the world and think you're gonna serve God at the same time. It can't happen. It can't happen. You can't serve two masters. Is either you're a Christian, which means you're Christ-like, so you do the things that Christ do, or you in the world. But you can't be, oh, one day on Sunday I'm a Christian, but Monday through Saturday, child, I'm a Thotiana. It don't work like that. And I'm not even surprised that she came out with something like this, blasphemous as this, because look at the album cover. Come on, with the whatever. But anyway, but we as parents are to blame. Again, we all are to blame, because we just take our children to church, but we don't show them you're supposed to live this life. It's not only going to church, but you have to live this life. Look, when she came out, she was 16 years old. Well, let me show the clip.
My birthday, September 4th, 1981. I'm a Virgo. And for my birthday, I got my belly button pierced.
So as you can see, she was talking about astrology. And if you're a Christian, how is your life based upon this one paper that describes like millions of people that are born in that, and it's not even one day, it's like a bunch of y'all born in a particular month, or sometimes it usually takes up 2 months, and take a particular time period. This is who you are. This is what's going to happen to you. So your life is dependent on that. You don't even know who is writing these things, where these things are coming from. And a lot of people are basing stuff. Oh, I'm a Virgo. I'm a Taurus. I'm a Cancer. Oh, this is how we act. This is what I do. And you're basing your life on this. Oh, Virgos don't go with Tauruses. Virgos don't I don't care. I don't know who goes with it, whatever, but I've heard people say that. Oh, we don't go with Sagittarius. We don't go with Aries and stuff like that. And then you're messing up your life by basing your life on whatever signs or whatever you call it. And then she's getting a belly piercing at the age of 16. So yes, they go to church because that was a habit. It's that's tradition. But were they living the life? Were they living the life? Were they living the exemplary life of a Christian family, a true Christian family that not only goes to church but also live that life every single day? But anyway. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of church kids are already getting loose, because I know it's a lot of kids, because I had my kids at a young age, and some kids that grew up with them, or before them, most of them, before them, that I know were raised in the church. Like the church that I used to go to, we used to be in church all the time. And the way these children have changed, yeah, we as parents are not doing our due diligence. We are not doing our jobs at all, period, point blank. We are failing big time. And the enemy is taking up children who raised in church, who have that foundation, and then they are perishing, where you have kids who grew up atheists, antagonists, or whatever, grew up in witchcraft and stuff like that. Those kids are becoming saved, and God is using them in a mighty way. But our kids who grew up in church, they doing the most foulest stuff. That's a shame. That's a shame for me. That's a shame for you. That's a shame for all of us who's supposed to be Christians. That's a shame. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.